On 12th June, both Kuwait and India woke up to a heartbreaking tragedy. A fire in a six-storied building in Mangaf changed lives of 45 Indian families forever. The tragedy claimed the lives of 49 migrant workers, including 45 Indians in a Kuwaiti construction company. 2 days later, an uneasy silence hung over the import cargo terminal of the Kochi airport on the morning of 14 June, as Indian Air Force planes brought the mortal remains of the 45 Indians back home. Ambulances were stationed at the terminal to carry the victims' bodies to their homes. Accompanying the remains was Minister of State for External Affairs Kirti Vardhan Singh, who flew to Kuwait on 13 June to work with the authorities to ensure the swift repatriation process. The death of the Indian workers in Kuwait is a reminder of the dismal working conditions of a large and often ignored section of the Indian diaspora. Let's find out what went wrong. Within hours of being reported for the first time, the news of the death of 45 Indian workers in a Kuwait building fire sent shockwaves all around the world. In the tragic accident, a kitchen fire engulfed the apartment building that housed laborers from India, Pakistan, Nepal, and other countries. While some of the victims had recently moved to Kuwait for work, there were many who had been living in the country for decades. The building in question, which violated several safety regulations, was on lease to KG Abraham, a Kuwait-based Malayali businessman. KG Abraham is the partner and managing director of the NBTC group, which owns the Kuwait building that was gutted in fire. They are one of the largest construction groups in the Gulf country. Abraham, a 69-year-old businessman from Pathanamthitta, has been based in Kuwait for almost 4 decades. During the 2018 and 2019 Kerala floods, he was a massive support to the people of the state and helped those in distress. In 2023, Abraham landed in controversy for criticizing the Pinarayi Vijayan-led LDF government in Kerala for swindling money from the Chief Minister's Distress Relief Fund. The massive fire began in the pre-dawn hours at about 4 a.m. All the 195 men, believed to be migrant workers, were sleeping at the moment when the fire began in the kitchen. As many as 50 people were injured in the incident too. The labor camp that was gutted on 12 June was reportedly packed beyond capacity. The rapid spread of the blaze and the high number of casualties indicate that the 6-story building did not have adequate safety provisions, such as fire exits and firefighting equipment. Kuwaiti Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Fahad Yusuf Al Sabah accused greedy property owners of violations that resulted in the incident. Earlier, there were reports of a suspected gas leak as the reason behind the fire accident. However, local media of Kuwait cited officials to report that electrical short circuit was identified as the cause of fire. Officials also revealed that some sort of inflammable material was used as partitions between the rooms and the apartment of the building in question. The Kuwait government has ordered an investigation and assured that the guilty will be held to account. Meanwhile, the country's Deputy Prime Minister has asked the Kuwait Municipality and the Public Authority of Manpower to address similar violations elsewhere, where a large number of workers are crowded into residential buildings. India's Minister of State for External Affairs, Kirti Vardhan Singh, has reached the Gulf nation to ensure early repatriation of mortal remains and speedy medical assistance to the injured. However, the growing goodwill for India and its credibility in the West Asian countries can be used to do more and guarantee the well-being of the Indian migrant labour force in the Gulf nations. According to the MEA data, nearly 8.8 million Indians live and work in the Gulf. The money they send back home makes for more than a fourth of the diaspora's annual remittances. In Kuwait, Indian carpenters, masons, electricians, construction site laborers, factory and domestic workers, and food delivery agents constitute nearly a fifth of the country's workforce. Several studies and reports have shown that they are vulnerable to exploitation by employers. 2 years ago, for instance, an investigation by The Guardian underlined the precarity of the lives of Indian workers employed in the construction of soccer stadiums in Qatar. The significantly high salaries in the Gulf continue to make countries in the region a favored employment destination. At the same time, the availability of a large number of unskilled and semi-skilled workers and footloose laborers reduces the bargaining capacity of the migrants. Many are recruited through the visa sponsorship or kafala system, which binds workers to their employers, severely limiting the capacity of the migrants to seek better housing or occupational safety improvements. Fear of loss of employment or deportation prevents most from complaining about the quality of working or living conditions. India has signed MOUs with West Asian countries, including Kuwait, to streamline procedures for recruiting workers and providing them with legal protection. However, the course of legal redress is prolonged. Court processes are expensive, and an already vulnerable community has to contend with the absence of legal assistance and shortage of interpreters in an alien country. The problem also is that India deals with migration through a 40-year-old Immigration Act, which leaves the migrant worker at risk. In the budget session of Parliament in 2023, the External Affairs Ministry acknowledged the need for an updated law to deal with migration issues. That piece of legislation is still in the works. The toll taken by the Kuwait fire is a reminder that the new government has to do much more to safeguard the lives of Indians who go abroad to work.